interesting story out of Ontario. The provincial government says drunk drivers who are responsible for killing people should be forced to provide financial support to any children that their victims may have. So what does it mean? Steve Sullivan has been thinking about this. He is the CEO of Mothers Against Drunk Driving Canada. Steve, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, your reaction to what Ontario is talking about.
Yeah, I think it's a positive initiative. Obviously, as an organization that works with those who've been impacted by impaired driving, sometimes younger people who lose their parents, we know that there is a financial, not to mention the grief aspect of all of that. So I think looking at different options and different ways to provide some more support for those young people, I think is always a positive initiative. Lots of questions, but I think that's really what the part of the discussion moving forward will be.
What's the biggest question you've got?
Well, I think, I know that there are several models in the U.S. A couple of years ago, there was sort of a movement to pass these kinds of laws in the U.S. The question for us is always making sure that we don't take away from what's already there for anyone impacted by impaired driving. And so insurance, I think, will still be the main source of financial support. So the question is, can we look to those who've caused the damage to supplement or enhance that kind of support? Are there roles for those individuals that are realistic and practical to help young people more?
Yeah, and just for people who are not as familiar with this as you would be, Steve, can I get just a bit of a background, or like when this happens right now, what happens? Obviously, if somebody is convicted of drunk driving, they're going to face criminal charges. But what about any sort of support for the survivors? Is there anything in place now that Canadian judges or the legal system can impose on a drunk driver?
So in the criminal context, there's not a whole lot. I mean, there are provisions for what we call restitution, where offenders can be held accountable for expenses. That's really difficult and is usually more for property crimes, because judges have to order restitution based on the information they have at the time of sentencing. If you have young people who are in like 7, 8, 9, 10, that's years down the road. And so a judge wouldn't really have the ability to order that. So restitution is one model to look at. Under the current system, though, anyone impacted by a motor vehicle collision can look to insurance that they may have, their loved ones may have, and then there's options to sue the driver through their insurance company. I think a lot of parents, if they're financially able, will also have life insurance policies for the young people. So I think those will remain the main sources of financial assistance, but are there options we can look at, maybe through restitution amendments or through some kind of civil process in the province of Ontario to enhance that? I think that's a question, and I think it's a positive initiative that the government's looking at it.
Steve, appreciate you coming on CTV News today with us and giving us your take on the story.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Steve Sullivan, the CEO of Mothers Against Drunk Driving Canada.